Yes, what's going on, people? Raps on TV back again. It's Tuesday night. We're in the middle of the pandemic, hopefully the end. But I'm happy to be here talking boxing with you guys as per usual. Hope everybody is good. As you can see, I've got a guest with me this evening. We're trying to keep the guests a regular occurrence, and this is a man fresh from Gibraltar. I'm happy to be joined. I've got to say thanks. 12 and 0, super featherweight, one of London's finest prospects. Youssef Khoumari. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man. I'm good. I'm doing good, man. Like I said, I'm fresh off the plane from Gibraltar. You know, I'm over the moon. I got a massive win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I'm just happy, man. I got to box during lockdown. I got to fly out during lockdown. Couldn't
Yeah,
get better right now, man. I'm just over the moon.
yeah, no, exactly. And like I said, thanks for coming on the show tonight. I mean, I've got to say, obviously, number one, welcome back. I mean, how was it just being back with obviously they watched the fight? How was it back being with them and having a bit of a break in between camps?
No, it's good. I felt, it was a very long camp. The camp was about maybe 10, 12 weeks. So,
Mhm.
I felt like I really deserved and I really needed a rest because, the initial date was the 6th of March and then it got pushed back by about 3 weeks. Ended up becoming the 27th of March. So, the camp kept going on and on and on. Mind you, I was training throughout lockdown because I was in Portugal for the first Whyte Povetkin camp as well. So I was training throughout,
Okay, was
kept
that
my
last
fitness
summer?
up.
Right?
Pardon?
Last summer.
Last summer, yeah.
Yeah,
I was out there
nice.
last summer.
Hmm.
And I was just training. We finally got a date and, the training intensified. It just feels good to get the win and, finally come home and just rest up
Yeah,
because
no,
it's, like I said, it's been a long camp.
yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, you fought Kane Baker on Saturday. Going into it, did you feel that maybe he was being, I don't want to say promoted a bit more, but did you feel like there was an element that people wanted to see him win? I don't know. Did you feel that at all?
Yeah, I did, I did a bit, but, you know, I didn't see it as something wrong, Kane's been on
Mm,
two big shows. Um,
mm,
a lot of people like Kane, a lot of people respect his story and respect what he's done in boxing and how he's gotten himself to where he's gotten himself. So,
yeah,
it's just, a lot of people know him and they don't really know me. The majority of my career has been under the radar.
yeah,
I ain't really been on too many televised shows. I think Saturday was the first one. It wasn't even on the telly; it was on YouTube. But it
yeah,
was my first taste of the big stage, and Kane's
absolutely.
already been there, and he's got good wins over good prospects. So it's only right that the people they know him more. So maybe they wanted him to win more. But for me, I wasn't really looking at that. I was just looking at it as an opportunity for me to show people what I can do.
Yeah,
You know, like I said, I've been under the radar. A lot of people don't really know who I am. I wanted to arrive on the big stage with a bang.
yeah,
And I feel like I done that. I managed to stop Kane. Kane's a tough, durable guy, being in there with
mm,
him. I fully realize what people were saying. I fully understand what they mean. A lot of
yeah,
people were telling me on the outside in the build up, your guy Kane, he's very tough, he's very durable. But I fully understood it when I was in there with him. I hit him with some good shots and he came back stronger each time.
yeah,
He's very fit, he throws a lot of punches. He's just a tough guy, I think it's a massive statement that I got him out. A lot of guys don't get him out. The only time he's been stopped before is by Conor Ben at, I think, super lightweight and by another guy at welterweight. So I'm the only guy at super featherweight to stop him. And I think it's a statement. I hope the rest of the guys above me in the ranking see that. And it shows them I'm not here to play no games, I'm here to have good fights and,
yeah.
take the position that's mine.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, looking back, you spoke about some good shots. That's one of them there. A great uppercut that you landed. I think you worked his body quite well. So I think in terms of the performance, I have to say, I watched it live. I was at when most of us were at home, so I watched it live. I watched the card from the start, and I was really impressed. I felt you definitely showed you had more gears available. But you, for yourself, looking back, I mean, was there anything you wanted to tweak? Do you think it went to plan in terms of that was the game plan yourself and the coaches set up?
Do you know what? It almost went perfect to what we planned,
Hmm.
I always wanted to go out there and not let the occasion get to my head. Of course, there's pressure to impress. There's pressure to not let anyone down. But I wanted to go in there and stay calm and stick to the game plan. If I could change anything on the night, I did start a bit too fast in the first round. My coaches, Zav and Nick, had a go at me in the corner after the first round. They said, you're going out loading up too much in the first round. But, You know, I just want to go out there and entertain the people. You know, people want to see fast-paced fights and action, and I just wanted to give the people that. That's why I come out and throw a lot of punches. But
Yeah.
apart from that, you know, I think the game plan worked very well. My fitness worked very well. The whole camp was amazing. I made weight very easily.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. It couldn't have gone better in my eyes. You know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think, I mean, if watching it, I guess that's where Xavier and Nick show their expertise, because I liked the first round. I felt, you know, it made for more of an entertaining start to the fight, you know, especially the first fight of the card. Do you think maybe it's, you know, it was a bit of, I won't say ring rust, but it was maybe excitement because you hadn't been out in almost a year? You know, I told you, I said we spoke last year, March 2020, on the card in Dunstable. Do you think that might have played its part, just that eagerness to get out and perform?
Yeah, most definitely. You know, like I said, it was a whole year since I boxed,
Mm,
and not only that, it was an opportunity. I felt it was a long time coming.
yeah,
So it's been something I've been working for and wanting for a very long time. You know, I finally got my hands on such an opportunity. And on top of that, you know, I think what added to the excitement was the support I got from my people. You
hmm
know, they've been really behind me in this fight, supporting me throughout the camp. And you know, I just wanted to go out there and show them that, yo, you didn't waste your time. You know, I'm going out
yeah,
there and I'm gonna bring this win home back to the ends. You know, so there's all
absolutely.
of that. You know, on top of that as well, I wanted to make a statement. It's all them things combined, and I went in there in the first round, and you know, I just wanted to make a statement and show everyone that you know I'm here. I've arrived on the big stage. I didn't want to go out there and have a 10 round boring decision, a
Yeah,
boring fight. I didn't want to have a fight that everyone was just gonna forget, because you
yeah,
know, you watch a card sometimes, you watch the undercard, and there's fights that just blow over. You might not even remember them. I didn't
mm,
want to be one of them. I thought this is an opportunity for me to go out there
yeah,
and have people know who I am and know who my name is, and
absolutely.
that's why I went out in the first round and did what I did. But you know what? We moved, we learned from it.
Yeah.
You know, it was a good fight, and you know, we take it in, learn, and come back stronger the next time.
Absolutely. And shout out to Born a Blue TV. Said big up Raps and Super. Said the top performers, bro. So like I said, I think the fans themselves were definitely happy with it. We spoke about the Dunstable card, and obviously you know yourself, you know, this was it's fair to say a bit of a historic event, the Whyte versus Povetkin card out in Gibraltar in the middle of sort of a lockdown. I mean, just talk to us about how the setup was and how did you feel being part of such a historic setup or event?
Do you know what? It was my first taste of the big time. And I tell you what, I want that taste again. You know, listen,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
way the whole thing was set up, you know, it was amazing. It was nothing but amazing. You know, Matchroom, they don't do things small, do they? Everything was just amazing. I mean, from when we got to the Hilton in Wembley to when we landed in Gibraltar to the hotel we were staying at to the venue for the press conference to the actual venue for the fight itself, everything was 10-10. It was like, you know, I remember them telling me, you know, we're going to have to leave on the buses to go to the press conference. So I thought,
mm,
you know, maybe we're just going to go to a hall somewhere or, you know,
mm.
somewhere where just a little building. So I didn't expect them to take us to where exactly they took us. It was just some garden place with a pond. I don't know if you lot watched the press conference. It was like
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
pond and
We watched
proper
it.
nice, proper settings, 10-10. And I said,
Yeah,
"Yo, these guys don't really play. They had drones in the sky filming us. You
yeah,
know, had camera guys following us about the hotel. They really went all out for the show, man. And it just felt amazing to be part of such a big event. And, you know, on top of that, you know, it was a historic event for Gibraltar. They even made the £2 coin. And
yeah.
just to be part of such an event, it felt amazing, you know, because me coming from the small hall scene, I never really experienced nothing like that, you know. You always, it's what keeps you hungry, you know. You want to eventually get to that stage and be part of these big events. So to finally
Mm,
be there, you know, it felt great. I was just there soaking it all in, enjoying the moment.
yeah.
And yeah, man, like I
No,
said, I had the taste, and Eddie said winner stays on, and I won. So I guess I'm staying on, you know.
absolutely. No, absolutely. And I think, you know, just hearing you speak there, I wanted to come to that, but just hearing you speak there, I think that's why, you know, someone like Dillian does get a lot of respect because, you know, guys that, you know, respectively have been maybe more used to the small hall scene, he's bringing them out, he's bringing them opportunities to get that, you know, top level, let's be fair, elite level experience in terms of an event, you know, so the bright lights, so to speak. And I think it's really good. Yeah, you won't remember, but I remember you from the All Stars days before you went to work with Chavez. And so yeah, so for even me to see that, I'm like, yeah, I'm proper rooting for your corner, bro. So no, great to hear. Got to ask though, did you get a £2 coin? You know,
No,
that's the
I didn't, you know.
item. Bro.
I didn't, I didn't even see one. I've even seen one. I ain't even seen one, but
Yeah,
I heard around. I just heard from the build up to the fight they were making the £2 coin, and
yeah,
I think it was a massive thing for Gibraltar because maybe they don't really get too many big events
absolutely.
coming there,
Yeah,
so I guess it was a big event for Gibraltar, and the people there are so welcoming, and they looked after us out there as well. It
yeah,
was amazing to be there, and just grateful for the people. But
exactly.
yeah, man,
It's good.
amazing event.
Exactly. And obviously after you got the win, you were quite forthcoming in terms of saying, listen, you want all the smoke, you want to be able to get in the ring with the guys and don't run, don't run to the corner. Let's stay in the center and trade. I mean, do you think you could be fighting again this summer? And do you think you're looking to up the level of opponent?
Yeah, 100%. I'd like to stay busy if I can. Obviously, it's
Hmm.
the pandemic, and I'll be privileged to box again. I'll be privileged to box again. Like I said in the post fight interview, I'm up for anything. I'm up for the smoke. If there's
Yeah,
guys out there that want to have proper fights, let's go. Let's have it. Whether it's next week or next month, whenever. I mean, like I
yeah,
said, I don't want to fight guys that are gonna run corner to corner and
mm,
hold and stink out the place and bore the crowd and these kind of things. I'm here to have good fights, entertain the people, you
yeah,
know, bring boxing back to what it was before. You look at the guys like the Fab Four and the Alis and the Mike Tysons. Them guys brought excitement to boxing. The
no,
world used to stop for these boxing events. And I
yeah,
want to bring that back. Obviously, the heavyweight division now is coming back in the heavyweight division, but I want to bring it back for the rest of boxing. The best fighting the best. Great fights.
yeah,
People are watching fights that happened years ago. People
yeah.
still watch Marvin Hagler. People still watch Sugar Ray Leonard. I want to be in them kind of fights. So if anyone out there, super lightweight, your mama's weight, they want to have a proper fight, let's
Yeah.
go. Let's have it, man. I'm
Yeah.
here.
No, absolutely. And I mean, Dillian mentioned in an IFL TV interview, you probably haven't seen it yet. He said he want you want Zelfa Barrett. Obviously, you're both on, let's say, the same side of the street in terms of matchroom affiliated. Do you think that's a fight that could be easy to make? And do you think realistically he would want to get in the ring with you?
Do you know what? See, with me, I'm up for fighting anyone.
Mm.
I'm in boxing. I think if you don't want to go out there and fight the best and challenge yourself against the best guys, you shouldn't be in boxing, man. You need to want to go out there and push yourself against the best guys. Zulfa Barrett is one of the best super featherweights in the country, if not the best at the moment. I know you got Carl Frampton, Joe Cordina,
Yeah,
etc., but he's one of the best in the country. And I want to challenge myself against the best guys and go up there against the best guys. That's the only way to see how good I am. I feel like it will be a great fight. Whether he's up for it or not, it's up to him. I know he's a bit further than me in terms of levels. He's on European, probably moving on to world level soon.
yeah,
But if they're up for it, I'm up for it. I just want to fight. I'm just a guy,
yeah.
that picked up a pair of boxing gloves 15 years ago and found that he loves fighting, and I still do. So
Mm.
I just want to fight, man. Whether it's Selfa, whether it's Cordina, whoever it is, I just want to fight, entertain people, and have fun doing it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, we spoke about the coaches in the corner giving you that advice, and it sounds just like them. They gave the similar advice to Dilly in terms of like just be guarded. But obviously, you're working with Javier Miller, Nick Prempe. You represent the IQ boxing. I mean, is there a bit of pressure knowing that you're the guy that's now representing them on? I'm going to say the big scene, right? Because you're the first true fighter that's fighting on the matchroom shows, and hopefully more. Is there pressure? Knowing that that's the future for you.
Not really, not really. When I go out to fight, I'm fighting for myself first and foremost. I think the pressure's more that I just don't want to let anyone down. I've known Zav and Nick a very very long time, and all the guys at IQ, they've been training me from the amateurs, and we have a very good relationship. But I wouldn't say they put any pressure on me or there's any pressure. I just go out there and try to be the best I can be. And I think Zav and Nick are more than happy with me doing that, regardless of the result.
Mm,
So I just go out there and just always give 110%. Every camp,
yeah.
I give it my all. Boxing comes first in my life. For it's been like that for many years now. I've been a full-time pro for just over a year. Yeah, man. Boxing's always come first for me, and I give
Mm,
110% every camp, and I think that's all Zav and Nick asked for me.
yeah.
So there's not really any pressure. I think there's more pressure. I put more pressure on myself because I want to do certain things in boxing, and I want to achieve certain things
Yeah.
before the whole journey comes to an end. But it is
Yeah.
what it is, man. It's boxing, and it's just how boxing is, you know.
Yeah. No, I mean, and it's good to hear. I think, again, Jav and Nick, they're both students of the game. I've spoken to Jav at fight camps and Nick a few times. And, yeah, they're both students of the game. So I'm really sort of happy to see sort of the young crop. And I say the young crop, but, you know, the young guys coming through under their tutelage, but then also for them getting that experience. You know, you're working with them. You might get, let's just suppose you got a fight with an Archie Sharp or Leon Woodstock on a big card, you know, that gets them more experience as well as yourself. So no, I'm happy to see that. I mean, just talking about the man himself though, Dillian Whyte, what were your thoughts on his performance?
Amazing, man. Amazing. You
Yeah.
know, just being around Dillian and, you know, seeing his drive and his how hard he trains and how much he dedicates himself to training. You know, the man's been in Portugal for over a year, just dedicating himself to boxing. He hasn't seen his family. You know, I think people saw the IFL TV as IFL interview where he was saying, you know, he hasn't seen his son, etc., etc. It's just amazing how much he dedicates himself to the sport, and you know, it all came together on Saturday night. He went out there and he got redemption like he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
He dominated the fight once again. You know, hurt Povetkin early. You know, was in full control, and you got the blockbuster finish. You know, you got him with the right hand and then finish him off with a massive left hook. And you know, it's a statement as well for him. You know, they've held him back in terms of him going for the world title and winning the world title. But you know, like he's always done, you know, they tried to close the door on him and he just kicks it down. So it's good to see that he's got the redemption, and you know, he's ready to go and ready to go back and get that world title that he truly deserves.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think a lot of people are rooting for him, and we want to see him at least get an opportunity. I think, obviously, at the moment, we know the Joshua and Fury is a big thing, but the good thing about Dillian Whyte is that he'll fight anyone. So even some of the contenders, you know, he might end up fighting them. So yeah, it's really good, and we're hoping that Dillian Whyte does get a title shot. If not this year, then next year. I know it is going to be tough though. But listen, Youssef, I've got to say thank you very much for joining us today. I know that you got a rush and you got things to do and just spend time with the family. So just wanted to appreciate you jumping on the platform. Hopefully we see you again fighting soon. And obviously you're a welcome guest. So anytime there's an upcoming fight, come back and tell us about it.
No, 100%. I appreciate you having me on.
No,
and yeah, man, I'm just sitting around. I'm in quarantine. I can't do much anyway. The most I can do is walk to my car and back to my house. So no, but thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
No
worries. Yeah, man. Hopefully we get back out soon. But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys.
All right, take care, brother. Thank you very much.
Take care, man.
Take care. Cheers, man. Appreciate that. That's the big man Youssef Khoumari there, who you would have seen last weekend on the Dillian Whyte Povetkin card. He set the show. He got us off running, which, if we're being honest, it was in great fashion. I thought he brought a very sort of like entertaining style, working the body, working the head. So yeah, look out for him. Like I said, known him since his All-Stars days. So as much as he's with the Neasden crew there, that's not an issue on my part. That's not the politics I like to get involved in. I'm just like enjoying supporting and watching the fighters. So let's crack on. Start talking about other things. So for those of you that are listening on the podcast, Apple, iTunes, don't forget to like, leave a comment. And if those of you that are watching on YouTube, please remember to subscribe, hit that like button, try and get those notifications. Like I always say, it's free. We need more fans. We need to engage and build this platform as we have been doing. And look out for some good interviews in the next few weeks. Moving on though, Dillian Whyte, I think it's fair to say that he came out and he really kind of, we might as well say, stole the show. Really, there were quite a few doubters. People did think, you know, this fight was going to be 50-50. Some people did think he would get knocked out or stopped again. But ultimately, you know, he did what he should have done in the first round and first fight. And I think that was just boxed a lot better. You know, the guard was a lot tighter defensive. The defense was a lot more on point this fight. I think that was one of the instructions from Xavier Miller. So respect to him, because, you know, from the first round, he was saying, listen, when you throw that big hand, remember to pull your hand back. He knew that, not necessarily traps, but he knows that Povetkin is still dangerous. I've got to be honest, though, and it's not a slight for Dillian Whyte, because he had to go in and do what he needed to do. But I do think that Povetkin looked a bit old. I do think, you know, from the weigh-in, from his ring walk entrance and obviously the performance in the ring, we're talking from the first round, he looked old. He looked like somebody that probably hasn't recovered from COVID. But at the end of the day, you signed up to fight, you took the fight, and Dillian Whyte has got nothing else to do but beat you, which he did. So I think for Dillian's point of view, he probably needed a bit of a break in terms of, you know, that devastating knockout loss last year, August. But even in the build up to that, he had been fighting tough fight after tough fight. You know, big knockouts, you know, they always say that takes stuff out of you. So, you know, having the fight that he did on the weekend, you know, let him have an easy run for once. I do think, however, what probably surprised me is afterwards everyone saying that, you know, he needs to fight Deontay Wilder. I think that can't be his next fight, surely. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me that Dillian Whyte would go in next and fight Deontay Wilder. For me, you've got to take your time. And when I say take your time, like, go out there, maybe, go and fight in the States, fight a name that's on the fringes. But, you've just... I think I don't care what people may say. They'll have different opinions. But for me, the Deontay Wilder fight is still it's still tough for Dillian. I don't think it's a walk in the park. I think if you look at Fury's attributes, one, he's got great fundamentals, great boxer experience. But two, he had the height and the weight over Deontay Wilder. And I think, you know, you need to have quite a few attributes, physical attributes that will probably intimidate or impose to allow you to impose yourself on Deontay Wilder. I think, yes, you know, Dillian's got the skill to maybe make him fight on the back foot, but again, is that necessarily the first time he's fought on the back foot and lost with the way Fury did it? I think what Fury's advantage was that he had the power and the height. So whilst he was coming forward, you know, Deontay Wilder was probably more punching up, whereas Deontay Wilder a lot of the time has been stepping back and punching, and he's punching down. So for me, I don't think that should be a fight he should take next. Got to say, Born of Blue TV, big up, welcome to the channel. Appreciate the support. He says he agrees about Povetkin, but Dillian did well considering the way he got knocked out. I agree, and that's why I'm saying I can't really take it away from him, because all he had to do was go in there and avenge that defeat, and that's what he did. He's saying he should fight Trevor Bryan. Why not? I mean, is Trevor Bryan a huge threat? I think it's fair to say no. Is that a winnable fight? I think yes. And would we watch it? I'd say yes. So let's get it going, especially if they can make that fight happen in the States. If you can make that fight happen in the States, get Dillian more overseas experience. He's fought in the States once before. Then let's do it. So I think that will be a good fight to see him come back to. In terms of where does he go, I think he's got to take some time out, like Youssef spoke about, you know, spend some time with the family, take some time out from the game, but then come back to it. Got to speak about some of the fighters on that undercard. Chris Kongo, my guy Chris Kongo, a lot of you know he's a guest of the platform, been on the show many times. Unfortunately, he didn't get the win on the weekend. I did think it was a close fight. I think, look, outside of the first and the second, maybe the third, you know, I think, yes, McKinson showed his levels and showed that he's a good fighter. You know, I'll be frank, I didn't expect that. It took me by surprise, especially with the knockdown. Chris hasn't been knocked down before. Argument could be like, well, who has he fought? But still, you know, everybody knows Chris has got good fundamentals. He's come through the Team GB system, great amateur pedigree. So McKinson, fair play to him. He came out, totally rushed Congo. Congo couldn't figure out the range, couldn't figure out any distance in terms of being able to just keep his jab at bay. And also being a southpaw, I think that definitely helped McKinson. But you know what? Probably for his knockout ratio, I think his power is probably a bit more deceptive. So whilst he might not get the knockouts, I think people are a bit tentative in terms of trying to launch attacks at him, because they are thinking, well, he could maybe knock me out. A couple of punches that he landed on Congo did seem to kind of wobble Congo, and even the knockdown, if we're being honest and you look at it, it wasn't necessarily from a full flush punch. It was more from, you know, a thrown punch, but then a bit of a feet being unpositioned. So for Congo, I think, look, I personally think he gave a classy response. I think he can bounce back. He probably just needs to alter little things in the training. Maybe he didn't have the right sparring partners, but, you know, he just seemed a bit reluctant to be able to just keep that jab out, or when McKinson would lunge in, maybe just take a back step. and then fire a right across just to kind of warn him. But fair play to Mickinson. He seemed like a good fighter. MTK really backing him. The guys like Lee Eaton. So look, he's won those belts. He's got the trinket. So I won't say the world is his oyster, but now if he really wants, to step up, that's going to be a bit easier for him. They've spoken about the likes of, I think, Florian Marku maybe, but obviously I think the likes of Conor Benn is out of that. But look, who knows? If Eddie Hearn likes you, you got a chance. And I think Mickinson, from my understanding, is from Portsmouth. They say he's got a big packet backing in Portsmouth. So for all we know, that could be a fight. Those could be fights that happen down the line. So definitely looking forward to seeing what happens next on that. Who else was on the card? I think it's fair to say Campbell Hatton was on the card. Ricky Hatton's son. Strange one because I saw he got a lot of criticism, but I would say, it's hard to criticize somebody that makes their debut. I think the vantage point is that he made his debut in such a huge card, similar to Conor Benn. But that's just what happened, how it goes or how it happens when you're from boxing royalty, right? At the end of the day, your dad's Ricky Hatton, your dad's Nigel Benn. The promoter's going to bump you up the chain a bit more. Arguably, Hatton should not have fought before Khoumari. Khoumari was the first fight, and that was on Facebook. So that should really be the type of experience Campbell's bringing himself onto. And I think that would be the way to play. I think the problem is it's just going to be hard. There's all the eyes on you. I think the good thing for him is that it's being managed by 258 with the likes of Okoli recently winning the title. You're in a stable of Josh Boatsi, Ramla Ali. I know Cash Asfak lost, but what I'm trying to say is that I think they know how to manage fighters and prepare them to get the right fights at the right time. So I think Campbell Hatton, we can't tell anything. There's a couple of pictures you would have seen. He looked like he's throwing a trademark shot to the body. That is a Hatton trademark. I think I heard somebody say it must have been passed down in the genes. But it was definitely something he works on. Probably that's part of the selling PR, right? To get people more in tuned and backing him a bit more. But yeah, definitely thought, moving forward for him, he can do well. Got to say, not necessarily fight of the night, but definitely like the guys are going to wake up with the most pain outside of Povetkin is Cheeseman and Metcalf. I mean, this was really what they call an old English barnstormer. Two guys in the phone box just throwing leather, trading leather. Obviously, Metcalf went down. I felt he done very, very well to kind of last as well as he did. Cheeseman, again, you forget how young Cheeseman is. And you've got to think, are the Simmons looking to do anything to maybe change his style? Because he can't have a long, prolonged career if you're fighting in that style. And I just think, moving forward, he probably needs to look at that and just alter it, by a lot, maybe, because, if you want to start competing at the world level, there's some really tough, skillful fighters out there and guys that aren't going to let you just throw punches at them, and they're going to be in the pocket and moving, slipping shots. And these are things you've got to start thinking about. So I'm sure the team and the camp are looking at that, but credit to Cheeseman. He got that win. Now he moves on. I believe he's due to fight, I want to say Fowler next, or that's the plans. I think that's a good fight. I'll definitely watch that. So yeah, let's see what happens on there. On the other side of Saturday night, which was a busy weekend in the world of boxing, we had the Frank Warren show on Friday, but we also had a Frank Warren show on Saturday, which totally clashed with the Dillian Whyte fight. Myself, I'd watched most of the Dillian Whyte fight, but I did look out for one guy, a guy who I think you guys should keep an eye on, Dennis the Menace McCann. This guy is a bantamweight or super bantam, tough fighter, skillful. I think this guy is a real talent personally, and he's somebody that I would say, listen, just keep an eye out for him because he's a skillful fighter. He's coming out of Repton Boys Club, I want to say, and yeah, I think this guy's, I want to say the real deal, but I think this guy can go far. I've got to be honest. He's very early in his career. He's only had about 9 or so fights, but yeah, coming out of southpaw position. I think this guy's a talent. I know the younger guys don't always get, the smaller guys don't get a lot of backing or following, but I do think in this instance, maybe it's going to be the traveller background that may support him, but I do think this is a guy that could get fans behind him, and I think he could create a bit of noise around himself. Let's see what happens there. On that card, we also saw Willie Hutchison take a loss against Clark. Again, you've got to wonder who sanctioned that fight. Really, I think Willie Hutchinson's good fighter. Is he really a light heavyweight that's training too hard to just capture himself at super middleweight? I think time will obviously tell. But yeah, he didn't. He kind of looked. It was a bad stoppage. I know people want to say are going to look at this and think it wasn't that bad, but I think if we're being honest, it was a bad stoppage, and really he needs to. He needed to grow, and you take a loss like that. What happens next? Where do you go afterwards? And I think that's going to be the tough thing for him. So yeah, let's see what happens there. Also on the Friday, we saw David Adelaide. Those of you that may know him, he is a guy that sparred with Fury, and he's also sparred with. Fair enough. Actually, as I'm saying that, he's also sparred with Anthony Joshua. Prospect coming out of London, definitely a tough guy, and he's got a bit of menace about him. So let's see what he does in the heavyweight scene. I think he's far too young. He's been kind of calling out Gorman, which I think is the wrong move. And again, it's going to be a sign of the type of management or matchmaking that Frank Warren does if he should do that. Because I think he's too early to try and fight someone like Gorman. Gorman, whilst he may not have the power and he may not be able to take his power, I think he'll definitely be able to box smart, stay behind the jab. And if it's an 8-rounder, by the time it's the 4th, 5th, 6th round, who knows what Adelaide is going to be like? Because unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on the way you look at it, he's cleaning guys out in a round or two. So he's not getting rounds under his belt. He's not building up his stamina or endurance. And I think someone like Gorman would be a tough fight for him. So yeah, we've got to see how that plays out. So listen, we hit that time. We hit that 8 o'clock. We're going to go to the phone lines and see what the fans have to say. Starting with, I'm going to say anonymous, but I'm pretty certain that's Uncle Boxing.
Hey, how you doing?
Not too bad. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, not bad at all. Good weekend of boxing.
Yeah. A lot of activity.
I'm like you, Kojo. I think Dillian did what he had to do.
Mm-hmm.
So in that sense, we need to give him credit.
Yeah.
Overcoming the demons and everything. So on that level, that was good. What I couldn't get away from, because I've been seeing it for a while now, since the Michael Hunter fight.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since AJ knocked Povetkin out, for me, his balance hasn't seemed the same.
Mm.
I thought his balance was very shaky early on, in particular, against Michael Hunter. I thought he was dodgy in the first fight, even coming into the ring. And again, I thought, he looked dodgy and he did knock, his legs looked dodgy and he knocked Dillian Whyte out.
Mm.
So, I think it is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I now think Dillian and his team need to be very, very careful.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I've heard talk about Wilder. I'm not sure if stylistically that's a good fight for Dillian Whyte.
Yeah.
Necessarily. You've already said why. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
If the goal is to get a world title shot, then I think they need to be very careful. Yes, keep active for when the opportunity comes.
Mm-hmm.
Put it this way. I think you'll have I think you'll have a tough time with Joe Joy, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Interesting.
Mind you, I think any heavyweight's going to have a hard time with Joe Joy. But look, credit where credit is due. Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Just on that point though, in terms of you spoke about staying active and just keeping busy. I think that you hit the nail on the head there. I think he should do that, but it shouldn't be anybody that is. Let's be frank, is an unnecessary risk. I'm not saying that Dillian Whyte hides. But at this time, what's the point?
I absolutely agree with you. You could argue that taking Povetkin on when he was the mandatory and having that was an unnecessary risk.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and I've seen it happen before. You're high up the ranking, you do a title shot. It's probably not the time to be going into a 50-55.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, I know it's difficult because he's now used to getting pay-per-view money and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes discretion is a better. I mean, put it this way. Honestly, if you had to pick, threw him into a fight with someone like Deontay Wilder and Joe Joyce or Usyk, do you necessarily think that Dillian will win those fights?
I was just going to say, that's a hard trio because I'll be honest, it's not a given. It's not a given. I have to be honest, and yeah, what do you think?
Well, Deontay Wilder is one of those guys. You know the fact to be, but not many people can actually implement it.
Yes. Great.
Well said. The problem for any heavyweight. I don't care who. Yeah.
Exactly.
People think he's a cruiserweight.
Yeah.
His boxing ability, his southpaw boxing ability, is going to be a problem.
Yeah.
And Jojo, as I've said before, is a serious problem. A lot of people thought I was mad when I was so confident that Jojo was going to do Daniel Dubois, who I actually like.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when you pay attention in detail, like I do about boxing, and you don't. I mean, look, I know for a fact, even guys like Anthony Joshua never enjoyed sparring sessions with Joe Joyce.
Yeah.
And basically, Joe Joyce, what Joshua, as an amateur, used to do to prove who didn't enjoy sparring sessions with him, is what Joyce was able to do to Joshua, because he's a big, awkward, solid, long-proof, durable.
Yeah.
And he's got an end,
No, absolutely.
Some guys start fast and slow down.
Yeah.
Joyce is the kind of guy who, the longer the fight goes on, gets his engine just the job enough.
Exactly. But I think you mentioned his durability, and I've got to say, I think that is probably underrated because, we saw the amount of shots he took from Dubois, and as much as we know Dubois was probably untested, like they didn't look like small shots, and we've seen what they've done to guys in the past. So yeah, Joyce must be a bit of a nightmare if we're being honest.
In fact, look, I'm going to tell you something. Somebody I know, who is a trainer. He trains. He is an amateur trainer. He's very much into his boxing. Before the fight, he and I had a big discussion, and he thought he wasn't sure, but he was going for Dubois. And I was like, "Are you crazy?" After that fight, after the fight, you know what he said to me?
What did he say?
He said to me that, you know what? He thinks Joe Joyce beats Joshua.
Wow.
I'm not saying I agree with him.
Yeah.
I know what he's getting at.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, I think it's I think with the Joy Joyce one and the weird one, it's like, would they take that fight next? I think they wouldn't. I know it sounds bad, but I think they're honest enough to probably not even take it next. But I do think when they're ready to take it, I think it's a problem. It's potentially a problem.
Yeah, for me, you see, look, Dillian Whyte, he faced all these people. Really, I want Dillian Whyte to get his world title shot.
Yeah.
Whether he wins or loses, I want him. I think he deserves it.
Yeah.
But this is where management needs to be smart. How many times do you take a guy to the well?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you. Did you you remember a boxer called Charles Nkulu? He was, what do you call it? He was an Olympian. He went to the 1984 Olympics with Nigeria.
No.
He went under the name of Young Big Tiger.
No, I don't know. Yeah. My knowledge is not that extensive, Uncle.
No, he was doing very well.
Yeah.
As a pro. Went to America, based in America. He was doing well. Good reviews, everything. This was in the 80s. Yeah?
Yeah.
Then they made a stupid mistake. They started putting him with every hard knot after hard knot. You understand?
Yeah.
And of course, after a while, some of those 50-50 fights, because they were coming one after the other, he started leading. This was a guy who he managed properly.
Yeah.
Could have gone on and fought for a world title. Maybe potentially have even won.
Yeah.
You know, but he was handled the wrong way. And so which is, I mean, but people might. I'll tell you something. Yeah. You guys know how much I like Dillian Whyte in terms of I really respect what he's achieved, where he's coming from, and everything.
Yes,
Are you with me?
Yep.
But in victory, there were one or two things that worried me. I thought he fought very well, used the jab for everything.
Yeah.
But there was some things I saw which made me think, ooh, I don't like this. And it wasn't so much because of it was Povetkin. I'm thinking about, I need to look at Dillian Whyte against the top guys.
Yeah.
As in, is he going to win? Is he going to win the heavyweight title? Are you with me?
Yeah. No, absolutely. No, I hear you, Uncle.
You see, yeah, I just don't want. I don't want another situation, a negative situation should happen that he doesn't fight for the world title, because I think he deserved it.
Yeah, as tough as it is. But Uncle, I'm going to have to move on to the next caller. Thank you again for the support as always.
No problem.
Look forward to speaking to you next week. I don't know if quickly, can I get a quick prediction on Jamal Herring versus Frampton this weekend? If you know much about that.
I think Frampton has seen better days, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I'm going for Herring. What do you think?
I'm going to give my prediction at the end, but I think I'm likely to incline with you. My only worry for Herring, to be honest, is he's left traveling to Dubai quite late. I think he's only got out there last weekend, which I don't know, just from jet lag, the time zone, the heat. I don't know if that's a wise thing, but yeah, soon we will be revealed. So Uncle, appreciate the support as always, and we're going to move on to the next caller. Thank you. Yeah, so big up DS, the Express Up Raps on TV. Thank you very much. Yes, EJ Boxing's in the building. Thank you very much, bro. Where's the link? I want to jump on the link. The link isn't there, but the number to call is 01506 353 955. It's rolling across the bottom of your screen. So those that are watching, if you want to call in, that's 01506 353 955. And please remember to like the video, subscribe, and share this channel from YouTube. We're going to move on to the next caller, 245. The floor is yours.
Joe,
hello.
what's happening?
What's going on?
It's Sam, by the way, your co-host.
Oh, yes. What's going on? Long time, man. Where you been?
Yeah, bro. I've been in the motherland, bro. Been in the motherland. But, oh, my God. What a weekend of boxing we've had.
I'm telling you.
Past couple of weeks.
Tell us, what's your thoughts on the Dillian Whyte fight?
To be honest, that was kind of inevitable. I thought, someone recovering from COVID isn't going to be 100%. This is me not taking anything away from Dillian Whyte at all. I think he did exactly what he needed to do and was a dominant performance. But question is, how fit was Povetkin? But nevertheless, he done his thing. One person I want to really talk about is Chris Kongo, actually. I respect the performance. Was I disappointed? Not really. I just think this is Chris stepping up, the big raps on TV guys. We like Chris like us. I think it's a good learning curve for him, and I think he will build and come back stronger, man. But again, it's not about protecting this padded record. It's about benchmarking yourself and seeing where you're at, and that's the level he's at right now. So he needs to go back to the drawing board, put some good sparring in, and then just strategically plan his career. And I'm sure Dylan and that team, Maximum Violence, will be able to sort that out. So big up to Congo and keep the head up, really. One thing I wanted to talk about, Campbell Hatton. I don't know. I was very underwhelmed, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, but then you think it's hard to be. I mean, why?
Because everyone's talking about Campbell Hatton to be the next big, like he's that. Not that I'm thinking there's going to be anything like he's dead, but yeah, I just thought, I don't know. I just thought it wasn't that impressive, but maybe it's because his first fight. It's a big card to be put on. But it's just do you know what? Let me make a refrain from that. Let me make a decision in the next 3 fights after watching the fight 3 times. Yeah,
and I'll be honest, bro. I half feel we might not even be able to tell for another year, because I think obviously we're in a pandemic, so opportunities to fight won't come around as much. But I just think the problem for him is that they're going to try and put him on big shows where I think he does need to kind of, the small hall scene isn't really there. And I think that's where he needs to really learn his professional craft. I understand he's got the amateur pedigree or background, but it's a big difference. And, you raise something and, everyone's talking about him, this trademark hat and shot. But I'm like, it doesn't mean much now. And I think even if he finished his opponent on Saturday with, a great combination, I don't think it means much. I mean, look back to Josh Kelly, different type of background, but Josh Kelly, when he came out and got him turn pro, remember he threw 10 uppercuts or 10 hooks, and Eddie Hearn was raving about him and XYZ, and it's arguable he wasn't managed well, because the Ray Robinson fight, a lot of people feel he lost, and clearly he lost to Avanesian. So yeah, I do get what you mean, but I think that's the problem with whether it's the promoter or whoever putting him in that platform. Really, he should have been on a card that is like on a Tuesday night. Obviously, we don't do that much, but you get my point. I just think it's too much too soon. Like just like Conor Ben. So unfortunately, I guess he's going to have to deal with this criticism, because I think you're entitled to your criticism. I think he's going to have to deal with that.
Yeah, no, completely. I agree with that. It's good that you even mentioned Conor Ben there, because he's calling out. I think this next fight is going to be very telling.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be very, very telling as to where he's going to go and what he's going to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that next fight. Absolutely. But obviously, big up to Okoli, Lawrence, Nigerian nightmare making waves.
I reckon you were in Nigeria speaking to the fetish priest to make something happen. Nah, I'm only playing.
Yeah, you're joking. But no, it's good. It's good for boxing, man. It's good to see.
Yeah,
I believe he's the first kind of. Well, I think he is the first world champion outside of AJ in the 258 camp. So hopefully, Whyte can follow suit fairly soon. And yeah, onwards and upwards for them, man. Lawrence, this is why it's important. You've got a guy in Lawrence who didn't have that much of an amateur pedigree, went to the Olympics, still realised that he still needs to walk before he can run.
Absolutely. Literally
won every title and grew his ranks up, and now he's reaping the rewards, man. Yeah. But also, he's a freak of nature with a big right hand. Yeah. So
yeah, exactly. So Sam, when are you back in the UK?
I should be back within the next week or so. So I'm actually going to be able to do my first proper show, which I'm looking forward to chopping up with everyone and all our guests within the next few weeks. So fingers crossed.
A lot of work is waiting for you, man. All right, bro. Yeah. All right, bro. So listen, we'll catch up. I'm gonna move on to the next caller. I appreciate the call. Speak soon. 985. I know that's our resident. 985, Mr. Appiah. And for everybody listening, make sure you go hit that subscribe and like button. Mr. Appiah, what's going on, sir?
Yeah, I'm well, thank you, Kojo. Very, very well, thank you. How are you? Good?
Not bad. Thank you very much. What's on your mind? What do you want to talk?
I just want to say, Dylan Dillian Whyte obviously done the business Saturday night. Just want to say, I think he done well after that devastating knockout a few months ago. I'm sure he must have been absolutely chomping at the bit to get in there and turn it around.
Yeah.
So, well done to Dillian Whyte, all of his team getting him in the best shape he could possibly be in. And onwards and upwards for Dillian Whyte, I think. I think he'll be a match for anybody at heavyweight, a match for everybody. So, anybody there. So, it's all good moving forward for him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, I mean, do you think, you know, in terms of next opponents, there's rumours that he should maybe, not rumours, but people saying he should go in with Wilder. What's your thoughts on the Dillian Whyte versus Wilder fight?
I think against Wilder, if he did go in with Wilder, could you imagine the build-up for the fight? I mean, it'd be great. I don't know how would he fare against Wilder. I mean, I'm not sure. Yeah. I can imagine him really pressuring Wilder. I can imagine him giving him a good fight. Listen, Dillian's a fight for is a match for anyone. I think he could beat Wilder. I really do think he could. Yeah. Obviously, they both had recent big defeats recently. Yeah, so it'd be a test of who's mentally stronger, who wants it more. And I think Dillian Whyte. I think Dillian Whyte could stop him. I really do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I mean, I won't lie. I think matchup wise, I'm not sure if it should be next. I would like to see. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing it, but I'm just not sure if it should be next. And I do think you know they've got to be cautious because you know, Wilder, as much as he got beaten up badly by Fury, I don't think he's totally finished yet. So I think people just got to be a little bit cautious, but. Yeah, no, definitely like to see it. I mean, we didn't catch up, so I just wanted to quickly get your thoughts on the Billy Joe Saunders Canelo fight. We're still a little bit away from there, but I mean, Billy Joe Saunders has been training, seems quite high. You looking forward to that fight?
Of course I am, Kojo. Been looking forward to seeing Billy Joe, as you know, fight a Canelo, a Triple G. A top-class fighter for a long time. As you know, we've been talking about it for years now, and now we're going to get that. So I'm going to go for Billy Joe. I'm going to stick my neck out there. And
so early as well. You don't want to wait.
Say that again.
I said you don't want to wait, or you ready to stick it out so early?
I'm ready. I'm ready to stick it out so early. Yeah, why not? Fuck it. Why not?
All right. No. I like that. No, appreciate that. So listen, Dave, we're going to move on to the next caller, but thanks for the support as always. And hope you're well. Speak soon.
Yeah, you take care. Thanks a lot, Kojo.
No worries. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye. So just going to go back to a couple of comments. EJ Boxing, yes. Sorry, bro. The link is usually for, we might have to message and get you on the panel. But yeah, the link is usually more for when we do panel guests. So yeah, I'm more than happy to jump on the panel. But yeah, listening. Hopefully you hit that like button. You've also hit that subscribe button. DS Sahattin is very raw. It's paramount that they take it very slow with him and be very cautious on his opponents. In a way, he needs to treat his first 15 to 20 fights as his amateur career. I think that's a great point. Whether he'll get that long, I think that's going to be the challenge because of the pressure and the hype around him. But I think you make a very, very solid point there. And, they need to be treating him in the right steps. I think 258 are quite strategic with how they move their fighters through the gears. But it doesn't mean it's always going to work. I guess for them, it might be a little bit of trial and error as well. But they know what they're doing, clearly, because Coley's a world champion. But I think you're right. The first 15 fights, he needs to be quite cautious. Tough opponents, but everything's a learning, not a one-round knockout kind of guy. And yeah, following up on that point, a Wilder Whyte press conference would be funny. I think that would be hilarious. I think that would be hilarious. I mean, yeah, I think we would all pay good money to see that. Definitely see that. So I'm going to move on to another caller, 041. The floor is yours. Hello.
Yes, sir. Kojo, man. How you doing, buddy?
Yes, what's going on? Obeng, long time.
Yeah, boy.
How you been?
Okay. So for me, I'm saying that people shouldn't get all hyped up about Dillian Whyte,
Okay.
because yeah, he destroyed Povetkin, but I mean, come on, man. Tyson Fury walked out Povetkin. Joshua walked out Povetkin. It's not like Povetkin has given any of the real heavyweight any biggie. You know what I'm saying?
To be fair, Fury didn't fight him. I just to say Fury never fought Povetkin, but Povetkin did fight Klitschko, and I think it wasn't an easy fight. But yeah, obviously he lost to Joshua.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, man. How many times have Dillian Whyte fought Joshua?
I mean, once as an amateur and once as a pro.
Yeah. I mean, listen, man. Wilder will eat Dillian Whyte for breakfast, my brother.
Yeah, you should.
Wilder will eat Dillian Whyte for breakfast. I mean, finishing Povetkin that don't mean that he's ready to step up to the big boys game. Tyson Fury will whack him out. Joshua, if you meet Joshua again, Joshua will punch him and whack him out. Wilder will give him the roundhouse chopper and floor him down. I mean, Whyte has got the body and everything, man. But boy, Wilder should stick to the British heavyweights and just he'll probably just be going there for his pay deal. But anyway,
yes,
I'm still praying. I'm still praying that we see the Tyson Fury Joshua fight at Wembley. Even if it goes down to Qatar or Saudi or wherever it is, I'm very, very sure that the rematch will be at Wembley.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say that's going to be a strong prayer. I mean, one, we've got to get the fight, which I do think we will get, but it's not done yet. And I think Wembley, as much as it's possible, I've got to say, I mean, there's strong rumors about Saudi seem to be the leading players.
Come on, yeah. I hear you on that, and everybody's talking about that's where the money is at.
Yeah, that's the business.
But we all know that once they fight, it's not going to be a one. It's not going to be a one fight. There's definitely going to be a rematch clause in there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that rematch clause, there will be much clamor for it to finally come back to the UK. We need to see the British boys do their British thing at the Wembley Stadium, Mike. You know what I mean?
I think it is a fair point. I just think it's the business side of things, and I think the business and the pandemic, especially because the two fights are rumored to be this year. So it's not impossible, but I guess outside of boxing, we have to see how the UK reacts in sort of October and November, December to the pandemic. But let's. I think if we can get the fight, I think let's take that and then worry about the location later. Because listen, the build up to that fight is going to be fire.
and I'm sure Frampton TV will be representing live.
Oh man, we're trying to, brother. We're definitely trying to be. So yeah, if we get the drop on the location, vaccine, we're out.
Listen, when are we getting the Raps on TV T-shirts, man?
We're gonna do a competition. You go
pull your finger out of your pocket.
It's gonna be a competition. You call in the show for 5 straight episodes, and you get a free T-shirt. How about that?
Come on, man. You know we've been calling since 2012 when you haven't even started yet. Man.
Exactly. I appreciate that. So listen, Obey, we're gonna have to move on to the next caller. But
no. But just one more.
Yeah.
Listen, big up for supporting Okoli. I remember we went to Bristol and he was on the undercard as well.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't on the undercard.
No, he was just watching the fight.
Yeah, big up for supporting that guy, man. I mean, he's doing wonderful things, and I know that he's your boy, and we all hope that, listen, man, he'll be reigning for a long time to come back. Absolutely. He just needs to build up on his leg muscles a little bit, man. But boy, this guy's got some power, man.
He's got serious power. No, absolutely. We're all looking forward to seeing what he does next. So, again, thank you very much for calling in, Obeng. Appreciate the support as always. Nice one. Take care. So we've got 879. The floor is yours. Hello. 879. You going once?
What's good?
Yo,
yes.
How you doing, right?
I'm doing good. What's your name? Who's calling?
It's EJ, bro.
It's easy. Yes. You know what? The system I'm using, I can't see the name with the number, just the number. How you doing, bro? You good?
Yeah, I'm cool, man. I just played my intro. I don't think you heard it though, but it's cool though. Yeah, I'm alright, man. Like, obviously, first time coming to the shows, calling in. Obviously, when I saw the number was free, I thought, okay, then fair enough then.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a free phone, bro.
Yeah. When I saw the number was free stuff, well, let me jump on and that. Yeah, the weekend. First off, man, you've been doing great things in boxing.
Thank you, bro.
Obviously, I see you we see you in the media scene a couple of times around and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Doing your thing.
Trying.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the weekend. The weekend fights really kicked off with my man Youssef Khoumari.
Yeah.
I started off at David Miller's gym actually, and it's where I got a lot of my trainer certificates and everything like that.
Nice.
Judging certificates. But I got it all through while I was in the IQ, and so I really appreciate it. And while I was there, that introduced me to Youssef when he was up and coming. So I was there when Youssef actually, I actually judged the Youssef's one of Youssef's fights as well, and I was there when he.
Oh, did we lose you? Oh, Edie, I don't know if you're there. I'll come back to you. Hello. I think we may have lost him, but that was a bit of a good build up there, getting ready to hear about judging a Youssef Khoumari fight. EJ Boxing, don't forget to go and check out his channel. Very heavy in the boxing scene, from coaching fighters, obviously judging, but he also does great commentating and analysis work. So make sure you go and check out EJ Boxing Live. You would have seen his name in the comments. EJ, I think he dropped, so hopefully he might come back in. But yes, for those of you that were talking boxing, also wanted to talk about very quickly Streetwise Management. My guys over in Ghana right now, Michael Amubiadiako, manager of Richard Comey, signed up his light heavyweight Walter Ahmed. He got his win out in Ghana. Those of you that may know, that was a card which was headlined by the one and only Prince Patel. Funny enough, Prince Patel, I'd like to see him fight Dennis McCann, but yeah, it's unlikely that's going to happen anytime soon. But yeah, no, Streetwise Management out in Ghana, working with a lot of African fighters. Recently got Josh Wahab also signed to DeBella Entertainment. So yeah, it's quite busy for him over on that side of things. But other than that, guys, listen, it's been a great show. For those of you that called in, appreciate your calls as usual. Please remember to call in next week. This weekend, it's a relatively, but it is a bit of a quieter weekend on the boxing scene. We've got Frampton taking on Jamal Herring for the super featherweight. I think it's a good fight. Personally, I think, I would have probably gone with Herring. I'm going to sit on the fence purely for the basis that, Frampton is clearly a talented fighter. He's going for his third title in a different weight class. And at the end of the day, let's be fair. I think if you go into another country, you want to prepare as best you can. And, Jamal Herring is a Marine, so I know he's got the fitness levels, but I just wonder whether the time zone, whether it could be jet lag, the heat, whether that's going to play its part. But yeah, I think it's going to make for a very interesting fight. I'm probably backing Jamal Herring to get the win. In fact, no, I am backing him to get the win. I think Frampton is a good fighter, but I'm not sure whether he's been hitting the levels he would have wanted to. But then again, this is an opportunity to become a world champion, and we may see the best of him again. But yeah, moving forward, definitely looking forward to seeing what happens there. So that's the main fight this weekend. So next week's show, looking forward to catching up with you guys all again as per usual. But like I said, don't forget, when we're talking about Raps on TV, we're talking about fans, talking boxing, remember to subscribe on our YouTube channel. Subscription is free. And hopefully we'll begin to build and be able to offer some products for our fans. As Ben called in and asked for T-shirts, we might do a promotion. 5 callers straight in a row, get you a T-shirt sent out to you. But for everybody that's been tuned in, really do appreciate it. Boxing as usual, Raps on TV as usual. Subscribe, all of that. Peace.